Greetings everyone, and welcome to my last video for 2018. I thought I would bandwagon on the trend and do a little bit of introspection and come up with my top 10 goals for 2019 in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I have plenty of goals for 2019, but these are the ones related to the game specifically. These are in rough order of what I want to do them in. There's a couple that are gonna completely depend on when their events come around again. So, Hero's Journey and Legendary characters. So, when they next come around, who knows? Like for example, I'm not expecting to see Chewbacca again for potentially 6 months. I mean, we've had some pretty long gaps on Thrawn, for example. So, I'm expecting that. It'll be a while till I see Chewie again. It'll be a while till I see C-3PO again. That kind of stuff. So that could be when, I'm not 100% sure when those could happen, but these are listed in my estimated chronological order. Some of these I can work on at the same time, but some are gonna be do them now, or can't do multiple farms at the same time. That kind of stuff. All right. Without further ado, number 1. So my first goal, and the one that I'm already pushing for right now, is getting both Bossk and Jango Fett to 7 stars. I want to finish the farms on them because I've been looking through the kits, and I think just these two characters, specifically Bossk's leadership, really consider Jango's for a bit, but Bossk's is, I think, the slightly more practical version, is completing Jango's is harder. Or completing Jango's contract, which gives, the revives. That's really, really good. I just don't see that being as useful for the Chewbacca event. I think Jango himself will be an absolutely monumental character. Looking through his kit, Conflagration, if I can get a couple doses of this off, 25% max health, that is huge. And he's got Notorious Reputation, which gives him extra health when it's all maxed out, preventing revives. That part, not such a big deal. He's got damage immunity if he gets his payout, stagger, double attack. His kit is so good. He'll definitely be a character I want to have available. He's the most recent bounty hunter that's been on farm, and I'm doing my dailies on him. I'm not quite sure the energy issue yet, but I'm trying really hard. I've got Bossk farming too. He's ahead because he's been out longer. He's got a ship as well, so he was already a priority. Who knows, Jango might get a ship too. But yeah, so my first goal, which I hope to have done about mid-January, is to have both Bossk and Jango Fett at 7 stars, so that way they'll be fully usable next time the raid comes around. On to number 2. So, for my second goal, I wish to get my remaining Nightsisters up to 7 stars. A lot of my goals are simply about unlocking or 7-starring characters, but since a lot of these characters, specifically Talzin for example, hard farm, not getting a whole lot of attention right now because I'm kind of on bounty hunters, it's gonna take a little while, so that's why they're the second goal. Talia will probably be done soon because I can farm her with Cantina energy. She's the only character I'm farming with that right now. So she's an easier farm than the others, but still a farm. But yeah, I want to get these guys up to gear 7 stars, so I can use them in raids, so I can use them more effectively in Grand Arena, all kinds of stuff like that. So that is my second long-term goal. I'm estimating that one, since these two are hard farms as well, that'll probably be done mid-February. I'm kind of laying out a timetable right now, and I'm really interested to actually go back and see how this timetable lines up with how things actually work out. But yeah, Nightsisters, they're not for any specific event, they're more for the Sith raid, and just they're a really strong team. I still fight Nightsisters in my arena shards, and I'm in upper hundreds of my shard right now, and I still come across about 3 or 4 Nightsister teams every day. They are there. They're in a bit of a rough spot, all the counters, but at the same time they've got good synergy versus, say, Nihilus, and they're tough, or they're good with their going through protection with Plaguebringer, or just Asajj going beast mode. Like, there are options on them. So I hope to get them all 7-starred, and these two lead into my third goal for the year. Getting 2 teams to Gear 12. I had to think about it a little bit because there will be more teams I'll be using down the line, but Gear 12ing the Bounty Hunters is pretty much mandatory if you want to unlock Chewbacca, so I'm definitely going to want to have them Gear 12. The final roster is going to be both Fets, Greedo, Bossk, and Dengar. That is going to be my final team, I've decided. They'll be under a Bossk Zeta leadership. Bossk is getting my next Zeta, so that I can start using him again more. And he's also hit gear. He's hit 6 stars now, and he's getting gear as well. I need to get them all to Gear 12. Not 11 with some, but I need 12. And hopefully I'll still have some parts laying around so I can start getting them some of their Gear 12 pieces. That is the goal. I don't cover mods at all on this list because I get the feeling that there might be more mod reworks coming, but with the Gear 12ing of the Bounty Hunters and the Nightsisters, I also would like to work on mods. This is, I guess, kind of a bonus goal, is just get more mods, do more upgrades, less farming. Because my mod game is not strong. It is definitely not strong. I spend most of my energies trying to get speed mods right now. So that is that. So the Bounty Hunters, that makes a lot of sense. Get them geared up. I will still work on IG-88 and Cad Bane. I know they're getting dropped from the actual event team, but they've got good ships, and eventually I will progress to farming their ships. They didn't make my list because ship farming is usually a secondary thing, kind of how I'm farming Slave 1, just with my ship energy because I'm not farming anyone else with it. So that's for them. The Nightsisters, again, I want to use them in the Sith raid and just having as a good team for Grand Arena and Territory Wars. And they've got their own they've got a portion of galactic or of territory battles. So I mean, like, there's reasons to farm them. Unfortunately, like a lot of teams, they like their stun guns. And I'm still sitting at that really weird spot where I'm going to have almost 3 stun guns worth of stun gun, but because I've been using Carbantes on the Bounty Hunters, I'm actually kind of short on Carbantes, which is weird because you can get them from the daily events and from the challenges, so it's like, it's just a weird spot to be in, honestly. And also kind of goes without saying, but max out all important abilities. I say important because, we've got things like, say, Daka's Zeta just isn't quite high enough on the Zeta totem pole for me to, like, consider it a priority. Like, again, right now, getting Bossk his leadership Zeta. Chewbacca needs his Zetas, too, to get him really going now. Like, there's other Zetas, but these are, like, my 2 gearing teams, because when I started blitz gearing the Bounty Hunters this week, I realized, oh right, it's been so long since I've actually actively focused on gearing because I've just been spending so much time farming up character shards to get so many key characters to 7 stars that I've kind of forgot about gearing almost. And I picked up a pretty decent amount of gear passively, so it wasn't like I was not upgrading anybody at all, but now that I'm actually, like, at a point where the farming is starting to slow down just a little bit. Still going to be spending a lot of energy, but now I'm really thinking, okay, there's going to be times where I'm going to stop gear farming, or stop shard farming and actually focusing on gearing, so this will probably be my last thing for quarter 1. We'll be focusing on getting these guys geared up. Some of it will be a lot harder since there's mats that can only be acquired through things like raids and territory battles and territory wars. Working on that, again, strengthening up these teams so I'm more competitive. I'm posting higher scores nowadays in the Sith raid than usual, and I'm noticing my guild is speeding up on that, so who knows, heroic might be in our future. That's a guild goal, though. That's not a personal goal for me. Alright, on to number 4. So, keeping with the theme of powering up different squads, we have the Imperial Troopers, and I didn't actually know Veers had a piece of gear. Is this something I really need right now, or can I go ahead and take him to... Oh yeah, I can take him up, and it's almost embarrassing the fact that he was only gear 5, but just Imperial Troopers is a squad that I know is really good in the game, and I've always been kind of sad that I've never shown them the love they deserve. I mean, like, right now I could spend my time in, oh my god, my Stormtrooper is so over budget, but getting distracted. There is a really good combo here of Veers, Death Trooper, Shore Trooper, Magma Trooper, and Colonel Stark. That's a really good, useful team for both territory battles, and then they are useful in the Grand Arena. I remember that one team that was giving me hell. I could not beat them. So Imperial Troopers are a very important milestone that I want to work on after the Bounty Hunters and Nightsisters are done. They're also useful when combined with Thrawn in the Sith raid, and I'm fine with benching Thrawn on my Sith team. That's the only one that actually uses him, weirdly enough. I tried mixing him in with the Jedi. It didn't really work too well. But yeah, that's another long-term goal. Get the Imperial Troopers up. Not setting a specific gear goal for them, just getting them to 7 stars, you know, past gear 7. Not quite sure where they're going to be on the raid totem pole. Who knows? There's rumors of mythic raids. There might be a new raid. I mean, it's going to have been almost a year since we got a new one. So, this list is being made in 2018 with no real ideas what's coming in 2019. I mean, there's supposedly more Clone Wars stuff. We might get the Separatist and Galactic Republic reworks. Who knows? But Imperial Troopers, they need love. They are number 4 on my to-do list, even though it's more like 5 or 6 since I combine stuff. But they're getting love next year. They are a goal. They are a set designated goal. But there are other goals as well. So once they're done, that's kind of going to be it for my unlocking faction goals. The rest of these are now more when they're ready and when I can do them goals. Moving on to number 5. Unlock Jedi Training Rey. Less than a month ago, I finally finished the farm on the veterans. That is one of the roughest long farms that can be done, especially if you start slacking. I mean, for the last month, it was 3 refreshes of energy, spending all my crystals, every chance I got. Got to a point where I had 0 crystals to use for anything else, just so that I can unlock her when the time comes. Jedi Training Rey. The keystone, the cornerstone of a resistance team. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to unlock all the resistance, because I'll have almost everyone I'll need already. You need Finn, you need BB-8 for the event, and then R2 tends to work well with them. And then, honestly, it is a team that you can kind of plug and play. If not, I think I've got Resistance Trooper decently powered up. But yeah, Rey is like one of the best characters in the game. But she is a hero's journey, so this is the start where things are kind of getting less timeliney. I kind of... like, the farms I listed should keep me busy for most of the year. Like, not gonna lie, like, the first 2, yeah, I'm kind of down, I'm done, but they're gonna be done in the first few months, but getting gear up for the Bounty Hunters and Nightsisters, that's gonna take a while. Imperial Troopers, that's gonna also take a while, because I won't be farming them actively while I'm farming the other stuff. And then getting them geared up decently as well is gonna take time, so then... like, who knows? There might even be new teams. There's something coming with Darkside Bastila and co. I'm hoping it's an HK-47 rework mixed in there, because I already got him 7-starred. You know, just hoping for something there. Darth Malak, Darth Revan, who knows? We've got more Heroes Journey. We've got more Legendary coming. I think it'll be good. But Jedi Training Rey, I'm gonna be ready the next time she comes around. I mean, I'm sitting on 12 million credits, so I'll probably invest that into the vets and Finn to just get them up to the level. And then, who knows, I'm not 100% sure what the gear requirements are on this, but I definitely know I can get her the next time she comes around. It's a definite, I can do it. I've got mods I can move. I've got gear sitting in the bank for these types of characters, because Bounty Hunters feed off of almost all the old stuff. So new stuff goes towards Resistance. So Jedi Training Rey is like priority 1 of the legendary and mythic characters that I don't have. I know, like, I've already got her to 50, so that's, I think I'm on phase 3 of 7. Like, if I remember last time, it was Finn that was holding me back. But point is, look, I will get her. I am excited. I hope she rolls around soon. But with the cadence of releases, I've got a hunch we've got another new hero's journey, or Luke will be up next before I get my hands on Rey. But when she does, that's going to be another big game changer. Every time I've unlocked a mythic or a legendary character, it's been a big game changer. Chewbacca's getting geared up right now. He is going to change my Rebel teams significantly, because I didn't have Wigs, I didn't have Chase, but I will have Han and Chewie. Combine that with CLS, and it's going to be a big game changer. Palpatine put me in viability for the arena, got me into the top 500, where I started getting crystals. You know, who else is legendary? Yoda now leads my Jedi team. Well, I don't use them in arena. I use them in Grand Arena a ton, and in territory battles and in territory wars, and they are a real powerhouse in the Sith raid right now. So each one of the legendary characters and the mythics is game changing, and I can't wait for the paths that'll be opened. I know I'm really late to the game on her, but yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. All right, on to number 6. So this is another goal that I don't really have a set timeline for. Part of it is fueled by my other goals. Another part of it does, for example, require Jedi training Rey to be unlocked, which is part of the reason I put it after her. And the goal of 2 teams for the first 3 phases, 2 teams each. And then, phase 4 is kind of what the Nightsisters are for, but at the same time, it's just, you kitchen sink it. That's what you do. But yeah, I don't have, as we're speaking, I don't really have a great team for phase 1 at all. Because we're doing tier 6, I can kind of get away with a Zeta Vader team. Phase 2, I'm good. I've got my Jedi team and I've got my Sith team, so that part's kind of done. But they're not my Jedi team is one of the best. Only Revan is better. And then the Sith is an okay option, but there are other options. Imperial troopers, bounty hunters. This is kind of a meta goal, but at the same time, I'll also have to farm specific characters. One that I've put on my radar is Visa Smar. She's really good at keeping you alive in the Sith raid. So I did, for example, the bounty hunters came around, the one where you get 2 tries to farm 20 shards from any character you want. I did her this time around. So there's stuff like that. There's modding involved with it. The bounty hunters are going to get remodded to hell once I'm done with Chewie. So it's stuff like that. I've got to also talk to the guild more about this, because clearly you can see some of us are getting ready, and I will admit I didn't participate on phase 1. I kind of just let it slide. Phase 1 tends to go away pretty quickly now, but as you can see, we're getting there. We're posting scores. We're getting in the millions. I remember the first time my guild started doing the raid, I could barely get 1 million, and here I am now. I got 4 million off of 2 rounds. It's progress. People like DJ and Night Rover and Sven obviously are ready, but I want to get up to their level. And I know they've got much deeper rosters than I do, but I still am focusing on the Sith raid in the long term. I'm hoping we go up to, we get up to the last thing. I know we only get Traya if we do it on Heroic. So it's something I hope we move on towards quickly. And then the other raids, kind of just as a bonus, I want to be more active on them. We already finalized, but I know I'm kind of high. Yeah, I'm number 9 here on the tank raid. I came in during one phase and did 10% damage. Just remembering to do that. We finished the pit. This one is done in an hour or less. I threw in 2 characters. I threw in Daka and Vader just to post a score. And I don't know if it's in my inbox or no, I already collected it. But I want to have teams ready for all phases of the Sith raid. I want to participate fully on the Sith raid. And Rey is the most critical on them. Threepio nowadays is breaking phase 3, but they haven't fixed it yet. I know they've got something they're going to do after the holidays are over, so I'm not betting on him being like phase 3 breaking forever, but I do think he will still be viable. But for now, on to goal number 7. Number 7 is fittingly 7-starring Chewbacca. I've got him unlocked, I'm working on the gear, I am being held back by the comlinks, which is something I just did not have any of and have not been on farmable characters. Like, they're on... Yeah, these aren't nodes I farm, and they're not dropping from the Bronzium packs, I can promise you that. So I've actually gotten to the point of requesting them in the guild chat, and fingers crossed I'll get them, because holding up 2 of those are holding me off from gear 7, and then I'm working my way up his abilities list. I'm saving up. He will have my 2nd from next and 3rd from next Zetas, I think. His Loyal Friends Zeta is critically important. That kind of recovery is just really, really powerful combined with Luke, and then immune to ability block and increase. It's kind of OP. And then this one's not a bad Omega. Not a bad Omega. Actually, really good Omega. And if I'm not mistaken, this one's just more damage, yeah. But working on getting Chewie geared, that's going to just kind of happen over time the more I use him. Like, once I feel he's ready for Grand Arena. Also, mods. Kind of short on mods right now. I say as I've had to delete mods this morning, but like mods are like, I need the good ones. I'm seeing it now in Arena especially, where it's like I have okay mods, I don't have great mods. So that is, again, something I expect there'll be more work done to them, so I'm not putting it as an actual thing. But yeah, number 7 is 7-starring Chewbacca. I feel he'll be geared by the time I get him 7-starred, because he is going to be extremely important. Especially for me, his most important place will probably be Grand Arena, since he works really, really well in any team I throw him in with Han, and then he's also extraordinarily powerful in the 3v3s, because he will be able to guard both of the other characters, and you've got to throw like something really strong if you want to take down a CLS, Chewbacca, and Han team. Like, that is going to be rough. So, 7-starring Chewbacca, I would like to do it. Of course, since getting Gear 12 on the Bounty Hunters is the same. It is kind of the same thing, but at the same time, there's more strategy, there's mods. You know, I gotta remember, setting a mental note for myself, remember, Cell, if you're rewatching this video, kill Chewie first. I forgot that when I was doing it this time, and then the second I tried killing Chewie first, I blew through tier 5, and it's not bad on tier 6, but I still don't expect to finish it. Alright, on to number 8. Another hero's journey, or as I call them, mythic character, Revan. Jedi Knight Revan, specifically. I would like to unlock him next year, which means I will have to farm up his team at some point. I get the feeling that once I'm done with Imperial Troopers, Revan will have an even stronger meta presence. He's already really good right now. Like him, Ajoli Bindo, Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, they demolished. This is the meta character right now. I'll admit, never been a big fan of the robe. I played a Darkside Revan in Knights of the Old Republic, and I love his armor to death in the Old Republic. But he's still meta-defining, and I still think I will need him when the time comes. You know, he's the most powerful character in the game right now. Like, yeah, I mean, he's not the best individual, but he is the most powerful because he just changes everything. He takes Jedi to a whole new level. He's good with Old Republic too. He's just, man, there's no better. The only character that I think will be better next year will be Darth Revan when he comes out, because we all know it's coming. Like, the pattern's on the wall. It's probably gonna happen March. March is when I'm betting, because we are still one new Old Republic character short, assuming they don't rework HK-47. If they do, we still have to wait for the 4 that came out to become farmable, and then After that, who knows? But Darth Revan is coming. It's all but confirmed. We might get Darth Malak too, and that could be interesting as well. But yeah, number 8 on my list is Revan. I don't know if I'll have him up next time he comes around. I get the hunch that he's going to be around a lot sooner than Jedi Training Rey is, so I'm definitely not ready. I think I can get one more chunk of shards off of him, but that's it, because I have not been farming anybody, and you need the characters. I can't just have Bastila carry everything. I mean, I can have Bastila carry everything when the time comes, but, you know, star requirements and that kind of stuff. But getting Revan is on my list. Hoping to get it done. It might end up being something like Jedi Training Rey, where it's like 4th or 5th time he rolls around, I get her, but get him. But that is my hope. Number 9. Of all my goals, this one is definitely the one I'm begrudging myself the most. You know I don't like Ewoks, and this means I need to gear up Ewoks. So, yeah. Need to unlock Threepio. I am not saying 7-star, by the way. He's good at 5. If I could get 6, even better. 7, that requires nearly Gear 12 Ewoks, and I don't really want to do that. Plus, I don't have one of the key ones unlocked. I don't remember which one it even is. I don't feel like looking. But yeah, Threepio, another legendary character, another game changer. 5 unique abilities. He only actually does 2 things in battle, but these changes are just insane. His debuffs and buffs are through the roof. Definitely the most powerful individual buffs and debuffs in the game, even though you have to stack them. And he just messes up so many teams. And he's got such good synergy with Rebels and with Resistance, which Resistance is something I'm planning to have this year. Who knows? Especially if Galactic Republic gets reworked, he might bring them up to the meta level too. We're not sure. Weirdly doesn't have a lot of droid synergy, which I'm legitimately surprised, but he's still going to be like critical to all good Rebel Resistance teams. So next time he comes around, I hope to unlock him, kind of like how I did with Chewie, you know, get him on the second go. We'll see about 6 and 7-star. He's not as hard of an event. I don't have to get a full set of Gear 12 Ewoks. I just have to play it smart. I have to have the right Ewoks, which means Wicket, Logray, Pablo. Gotta work on those at some point. Alright, one last goal. This one is definitely a when I get the chance to do it, I'll do it thing. This is not going to be a I can predict it by X year. And my last one, my number 10 is... So sitting here right now, I'm not too far off on top 10. I think ships will be the easier one, honestly. If I ever get 7-star Chimera, you know, really take time to focus on my my pilots. The Geos are almost done, and the bounty hunters, as you've seen, they're getting geared up. Their ships are kind of on farm, but just due to the lack of rewards, obviously ships is always going to be a secondary, and I need to blur out my ally code. You know what? No, I'm not going to blur out my ally code. Y'all get to add me. I have room. You can join. You can be my friend. There's my ally code. But yeah, I want to get to the top 10 on an arena. I know I'm not going to stick in there because my shard chat is definitely exclusive. There, I can't even find it. I'm still having a hard time figuring out my shard in the first place, but I'm not close to getting in an arena, but I think I can do it in ships. Who knows? Maybe the metal shifts back to Sith if I can pick up Traya, or maybe Darth Revan won't need Traya. Who knows? Like, maybe I've got the next meta sitting in my inventory halfway decently geared. Who knows? Maybe I'll get Revan and jump up. There's a lot of different options, but my goal is at some point next year, break the top 10. I don't have to stay in the top 10. I'm happy getting crystals. Like that was my goal for this year, was get to the point where I'm getting crystals on both arenas. I'm doing that. I would like to break top 10, you know, especially with the fleet, because that one has really, really fast scaling up. But, you know, if I can get, you know, I will addendum this. Top 100 on arena, top 10 on fleet. I think those are realistic goals, especially since I'm not a whale. I didn't pay for Revan. But it feels like I want to do that because that is kind of a bragging rights to have this these ranks and to get the resources, because that means more refreshes, more being able to buy gear. Like right now I have crystals where I can afford some of the gear stuff in the shop, and I'm still debating, it's like, do I use them on Jango shards or do I use them on gear to gear up the bounty hunters? And it's decisions like this. Like I said, I was introspective on creating this list, just thinking about like how I've perceived the game, how I've played the game, and I definitely put a lot more thought into it nowadays. And I like the fact that there are decisions and there's not an inherently right answer. It's like right now, do I speed up my Jango farm, which is a max level hard farm, as hard as they get? So, I could take 25 shards off of that. That's, a quarter of the way to 7 stars. I know I'm only going for 5 right now, but my point is, that's time saved, that's weeks potentially saved. Or do I spend it on gear, which is, who knows how long it would take me to get those individual pieces. And again, there's not a right or wrong answer. This game's been really, really good for me. Like, it's been fun, it's been enjoyable. I've built a nice little community on here with Older Republic. I hope we can move on to the Sith Raid this year. And just... man, it's been fun. There's challenge, but it's not crazy challenge. It's not like Mythic raiding where it's like you got to spend 6 hours a day for every day of a week to try and bring a boss down. No, it's like, if you're having trouble on a boss in here, you can retreat, or sometimes you have to forfeit, but you get to try again. And the collection aspect is nice. The devs have been really, really good about the lore of the characters. They've been good with the community. When there's changes we don't like, they usually have a good reason, and we'll grumble for a while. But they're genuinely caring devs. I mean, when they moved the Bronzium packs over, finally, they were nice enough to issue refunds to characters who... or not characters, to players who, just because it was habit, accidentally scrolled all the way over and bought Chromium packs. I mean, they didn't have to do that. That was... well, I mean, it's not money, because they already had crystals, and you get free crystals, but it's like... They still gave people free crystals back, and it's like, it's things like that tell me we've got something good going here, and I'm looking forward to another good year with this game. Thank you all for watching. I know it's been a really turbulent year on YouTube. I'm keeping things simple on here, but I hope we all have a good 2019, and I will see you all next year. Farewell.